Welcome to Veterans Views of Connecticut. I'm your host, Gabe Kautzner, a voice for the veterans and advocate for all who struggle out there. Our show today is about Mission 22 and its great work helping veterans. With me today is Mr. Harrington, who is the Connecticut ambassador for Mission 22. Mission 22 is a nonprofit who combats the ever-raising veteran suicide rate. And Chris is better to call you instead of Christopher, right?
That's fine, yeah.
Yeah, because that's what your mom called you when you were in trouble, Chris. Yeah. But anyways, so I would really like to go over this. You were on my radio show.
Right.
My podcast, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's important. This is probably one of the greatest things that is going on right now, because the suicide rate, I heard, again, has gone up. So can you tell us a little bit about Mission 22? Yeah,
Mission 22, it's a nonprofit organization, and they're trying to combat veteran suicide. What they do basically is they take the donations, the money that they raise, and they help provide services to veterans who need it so that it's free for the veteran. So they partner with a lot of different groups and doctors, all sorts of other programs. They'll take a veteran, contacts them, tells them what they need, and they try to hook them up with that service. And they make it free for them. So Mission 22 tries to raise money to help, fund all those programs that they do. And we have a number of ambassadors in Connecticut. It's a national organization. It's based in Oregon. We have a Connecticut chapter. I'm just one of the ambassadors. There's about a good dozen of us that are working around Connecticut. We just did a fundraiser this weekend in Oxford. We had a motorcycle blessing and a poker run.
Right.
We've got events going on during the summer, trying to raise money to pay for all those.
Can you explain a little bit about what an ambassador is, and if anybody could ever become an ambassador in the state of Connecticut to help veterans?
It's very easy to become an ambassador. If you go to the website, mission22.com, you can sign right up, and you'll get an email that gives you all the instructions you need to get in touch with the group of us in Connecticut. And then ambassadors really are there to help out with the fundraisers, to raise awareness, however you can. We need a lot of help just with the fundraisers and working those, helping to raise money and help promote the next fundraiser. The big one that we have is coming at the end of September. We do a big walk in Naugatuck. It's a 22K, so it's about 14-mile hike.
Wow.
So it's called 22 for 22, and we do a hike through Naugatuck. It's on September 28th, so we're promoting that all summer.
Is it just the town of Naugatuck, or the Naugatuck State Forest, or?
I'm not sure what the route is. It's all through the town of Naugatuck.
Okay.
I haven't tried it before, so I'm just joining it this year. I just became an ambassador this year. I think it's the 4th annual. They've done it for 4 years. And there's also like a street festival going on that same day. So there's a huge crowd, and there's plenty of good reason to just come out and support, even if you don't want to do the walk. There's other stuff going on that day. So we just do fundraisers like that, trying to raise as much money as we can, and then that's what goes to pay for all these services that are mostly dedicated to like PTSD. They have service dogs. There's Save a Warrior, which is a retreat that they do for PTS, and the website has all the
everything
partners
listed that you can find out. What's the website again?
It's just mission22.com.
Okay.
And we're on Facebook. You follow us on Facebook, 22 for 22 hike. And that's the Connecticut chapters. That's the Facebook page.
Now, is that where you sign up for the hike, or?
You can just come down for the hike. You can get in contact with us through the Facebook page, and if you have any questions about doing the hike.
So you don't have to be a veteran to be in the hike 22?
Yeah, anybody can do that, yeah.
Now, when they do the hike, is anyone pledging money, or are they just doing the hike just to?
There's companies that can sponsor the hike.
Okay.
There's different ways, anybody can get involved with a sponsorship. But it's really for donations too. Anybody can make donations that day. And it's really just a great, raising awareness is what it's really about. And that's their big event at the end of the fall. So anybody can join, and any donations are always welcome. To just get involved any way you can.
Now, I wanted to ask you, you're not a veteran,
Right.
but you decided to become an ambassador to help our veterans. What really prompted you to do that?
It was, I think, just last year I really heard about this, the suicide rate amongst veterans and how much higher it is, which I didn't know anything about. And it just made so much sense to me to try to help. I mean, I'd first heard about an organization I also work with called Objective Zero. I'm an ambassador for them as well. And then through that and trying to find out more about it, learned about Mission 22. There's, dozens of other, organizations just like it trying to help, the same problem with the suicide rate. But it just made so much sense to try to do something about that. Because it really struck me that it was veterans that had such a higher rate. Men and women who, by joining the military, have already dedicated their lives to serving this country, and they're actually taking their lives at a higher rate, which still just kind of strikes me as, a bigger problem than just the general problem of suicide, which is just a human problem. I mean, that's everywhere. But it struck me that it was a higher rate amongst the military that made it really stand out to me. So I've been getting involved with those organizations in this one.
Now, to become an ambassador, what do you actually have to do? Can you go through the steps?
Really, you can join up, just let us know you're available. I can't remember how I did it. It was so easy on the website. You really just enter your email and say you want to help, and they're going to reach out to you and set you up and put you in touch with the captains of the Connecticut chapter. Then we kind of let you know where you can help us out and what events are coming up, and you do whatever you can. It's with whatever time you have.
Now, does Mission 22 have a set building or set place, or not really?
No.
No.
No, it's just the ambassadors. We're all over the state.
Boy, that cuts down on overhead.
Yeah.
You have to worry about it. So, and any donations or any money that you get goes where?
Yeah, it's 85% of every dollar that gets donated goes directly to these programs. And there's so many different programs that we're involved with. But most of the money goes right to that, and there's some that has to go to just the operation itself. But they try to use as much money as they can to go to pay for these programs.
Now, Mission 22, where is it based out of?
They started in Oregon, and they're based in Oregon, but they're national. There's chapters everywhere, every state.
Okay, and they have, of course, do they have like one ambassador that represents the state of Connecticut if they have to go to Oregon? Or do they do anything like that?
In Connecticut, we have two captains. They're co-captains of the state, and we have maybe a dozen or so active ambassadors. It's actually more ambassadors, I think, online, but there's as many that can come out and help us. But yeah, that's it.
So that's basically how they do it, is really interaction through the internet?
That is the quickest way.
Between the ambassadors and the co-captains. When they're doing something.
Yeah. Each state, I guess, would work a little differently. It's up to the captains to how they communicate with the ambassadors, but they put you in touch with them right away.
Yeah. Well, I was at a car show in Naugatuck, and one of the co-captains was there, and they sell shirts.
Right.
They have like a jar for donations and stuff. And I was talking to them, they got stickers, they got everything else going on, to try to raise money. Do they have anything that they're trying to do to try to really change the numbers of veterans that are committing suicide?
Well, that's what they're really doing with all these programs. They're trying to find the best programs that they think are going to work. And it varies, all different types of things. There's medical programs. The latest one they've done is it's called WIN, and they put you in touch with a doctor who sets you up with a personalized medication program. And he really works with you one-on-one to work with that veteran to see what's going to work for them. There's service dogs. They'll try to set you up with a service dog if that seems like something you need. And they'll really just take in your situation, whatever that veteran comes to them with, and try to set them up with the best service that they can. And I mean, that's the best you can do for now, you know.
Now, there was also, I know you were talking about it, I know it's not part of Mission 22, but I think I had you as a guest on my radio show. I think it was Objective Zero?
Yeah, Objective Zero.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's a mobile app that lets veterans connect to each other, and it allows them all to find each other, and they can kind of find each other by branch of service to find the type of person that they want to talk to. And it's kind of outside the VA system, and it's outside the suicide prevention hotline. And it just lets them communicate with each other about whatever they're going through. And that's been growing too, and that's having a lot of success. People talking to each other on there. And that has a lot of other links out to the same kind of services. A lot of the partners are the same that we work with there, that also you can link to through that app.
Now, Mission 22, do they have an app or anything, or just the website?
No, yeah, it's just the website, and that's the best way to get in touch with them if you're a veteran and you think you want to take advantage of some of these services, or you don't know what they have. Contact them through that website, and somebody can get back to you and let you know what they can do for you.
Now, can they contact you, or would you feel better that they go to the website?
They're better off going to the website. I mean, I can
Okay.
give you my email whenever they can try to contact me, but I'm going to do the same. I'm just going to put you to the website.
Right. Well, I
that's
just
the
figured
best
I'd
way.
ask because you're the ambassador for the state of Connecticut.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if you wanted to put your phone number out there or go to the website, because my guests, I give them the option, whatever they want to do.
Okay. Yeah, no, the website's really the best way.
Okay.
They're going to get back to you, and that's the way they're going to work. They're going to go through their system, so I'm just going to tell you to go to the website.
Now, what about a veteran that needs help? How do they go about contacting Mission 22 so they can get the help? Like if they wanted a service dog, or they wanted to go in that program WIN,
Right.
To see a doctor on a one-to-one basis.
Yeah.
If you could explain a little bit about that, that'd be great, because I'm sure there's veterans that are watching that might be interested in. I know a lot of veterans that want service dogs, and unfortunately, they don't get many service dogs up at the VA.
Yeah.
So usually it's outside the VA that they get it.
Right.
And it's nothing more than a supply and demand. It's not meaning that the VA doesn't care. They do. It's just a lot. And I find it very good that all these different organizations are doing this. At least there's options. There's not only one place to go, and that makes a big difference.
Yeah, there's a lot. And I would again just I would just point you to the website. There's a contact button right on there. And when you're emailing them, tell them exactly what you're looking for, and that helps them too, But it's really up to those veterans to come out and say what they're looking for. And then that really helps them figure out what they're eligible for or what they can do for them. But that's what they do, and that's how it works, yeah.
Now, besides that hike that's going to be the 2222 that's coming up, and I know that this past Saturday you did have the bike run, but there was so much stuff going on. There was National Guard had just returned. I was doing a kind of like a yellow ribbon event up in Cromwell. I know the Air Guard in Orange was having a family day. There was just so much going on. There must have been at least 5 events going on at the same time, which I always wish it would be stretched out, because I like going to all the different events as much as possible. But so is there anything else that you know of that's going to be coming up? And do they put some kind of event list on the website, or you really just have to contact them?
Well, the best thing to do if you're in Connecticut, you follow us on Facebook. Well, on Facebook, it's 22 for 22 hike, which is, basically to promote that too.
Right.
But we use that to promote everything else. So you'll find what we've done so far. We did a 5K in May. There's some others, the auto show. I think that's where I met you once.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
I think they did another auto show somewhere else, and they do some other bike runs. But to follow us on Facebook is the best way, and that's where we announce what's coming up, and we ask ambassadors and anybody else who wants to come.
Now, that website, is that a national website?
Yeah, it
is. Okay.
So that's why they don't post a lot of the local stuff. That's up to each state to kind of
So
promote their
with
own events.
would each state they have their own Facebook page maybe, or?
Probably, yeah. Yeah, I don't know
Okay.
what the other states do, but I imagine, it's up to each state to each region to kind of figure out how the best way to go about it. But for Connecticut, we do everything on that Facebook page. So that's the best way to find out where we are.
Now, as far as the ambassadors and the co-leaders, do you ever get together to talk about, do you do any training? Is there anything done? Do you talk about anything? Do you help in any event planning? Anything like that?
I haven't yet. No, ambassador, for me, I just come out and try to help when I can. If it's a weekend that I can make it, I get down and just help them work that booth. And that's really, we just need people to do that for us.
Now, have they ever asked you to go out into the community and do something on your own, or not really?
No, it's really up to, every ambassador can do whatever they can. I knew from talking to you about your TV show, so I thought I'd see if you want to have us on about that.
Well, I think it's important because it's a lot. One of the reasons why I have this is because people don't know. And one of the biggest things that I always hear, I didn't know. I didn't know there was a program like that. I didn't know that was going on, or I could get help that way. I've been doing this since 2005, and I just know a lot of people, know a lot of organizations, and still I am learning new organizations like Mission 22. There's always something that's coming out that could benefit the veteran and help them in any way. The only thing that I find very difficult is being everywhere at once.
Right.
Because I definitely get invited, but I just can't do everything. It's really, really, and actually if someone wants to get a hold of me, I have my phone number, and you have an event or something is going on, please call me and I'll see if I can, be part of it. I'll bring a pop-up tent out, I'll do the whole thing. It's just very, very difficult. I already have a 2-week lag as it is, so it's like if you call me up to go out tomorrow, I might not be, I might fit it in, but most of the time I can't. I want to give myself a little time because, you got to have time off too. Mm-hmm. If you don't take care of yourself, you're not going to be able to take care of the ones that you're helping. So that's why it's so important.
Right.
You were going to say something before I...
No, I was going to invite you to the 22 hike. You got some time.
Oh, yeah.
It's in September.
Well, the street festival in September, I do every year. I usually put a tent up and usually put something up. Just to see what's going on, but I'm sure I'll be talking to the co-ambassadors and asking them, where I can be positioned. We might have 2 places. We might have a place where the run ends, and then we can help out there. And I just think it's really, really important that we give as much support as possible. Trying to help our veterans as much as possible. Mm-hmm. So, do you have? Has any of your family ever been in the military?
My father was in the Army National Guard.
Okay.
And I don't know exactly when, but no. And I also just found out I get into ancestry a little bit with my family the last few years. So I've gotten in touch with an uncle of mine who served in World War II, and I know he served in the Pacific, but I don't have any real direct. Oh, and then my fifth great-grandfather, I could tell you, my fifth great-grandfather fought in the Scottish Highlanders.
Oh, really?
So he fought for the British. I don't know if that technically gives me any credibility, but yeah, I found out he's from Scotland and he was recruited into the Highlanders and fought in the 7 Years' War, the French and Indian Wars.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
And
yeah.
after that, got some land up in Nova Scotia. So I have ancestors up in Canada and Nova Scotia
So you got them all over the place.
from that, yeah. But that's as far as my military connection goes. But you know, when I found out about that, and that the rate was so much higher for the military, and I just always think of anyone in the military already serving their country, it just like, strikes me that they should be the ones, you know, struggling with that so much. So I feel like I want to try to help them first, you know, as much as I can.
Well, I wanted you to kind of go over these
Sure.
these different programs that Mission 22 has. But before we do that, do you know how they came up with the logo, Mission 22?
I don't.
Or what
I
it
mean,
represents?
the 22 is that, you know, that 22 suicides a day is the average, and it goes up and down.
Right.
I don't think the number matters that much, but
It
that's
says
where
United
it
in
is
the
from.
War Against Veterans
Yeah,
Suicide.
and that's their slogan. But I don't know how they came up with the logo.
I think that's
and the
great.
slogan. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
great.
it's really good. I don't know exactly when it started. It's not that old. It's been around for a few years, but it's really taken off.
Yeah, but you were saying it would started in Oregon,
Right.
and then it probably just spread like wildfire.
Yeah, yeah. So we're
Yeah.
all over the country, you know, and there's all different chapters. You can, you know, if you go to search on Facebook, you'll find a million chapters of them all on there. But it's been doing really good. So yeah, this is just one of their flyers they put together. It's got just a few of the programs that they do. This one is a comprehensive wellness program. I think that's the WIN program, or similar to it. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is something there are Jiu-Jitsu trainings and gyms. They'll try to get you gym memberships and Jiu-Jitsu training. There's horse therapy, which I don't know too much.
Equine horse therapy.
Yeah. The service dogs. There's different, and another war detox program. And there's a lot more on the website, you know, and even if you don't have the time to look through everything that's on there, you can send an email and just tell them what you're looking for, and they can help set you up with something. And that's just a few of them. I can't even keep track of how many.
That many, with
yeah.
that many programs
Yeah,
going on at the same time.
right.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of organizations out there trying to deal with the problem in different ways. And so Mission 22 just tries to make it free for the veteran. A lot of these programs you would have to pay for, and they are organizations, you know, that operate independently. But Mission 22 tries to pick up the cost so that it's free for the veteran working through that.
Now, does the veteran have to prove that they're a veteran? Do you have to present a DD-214? Do you know?
I guess they might have to, but I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it works. That's why, you know, once you get in touch with them, they can get back to you and let you know exactly what the steps are. I would imagine you need that, at least that, but I don't know.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I just really wanted to find out about Mission 22 and what you've been doing. How does one become an ambassador?
Again, you go to the website, and there's a section there just to become an ambassador. And you can sign up really quickly, and they'll email you and give you all the instructions you need.
Oh, so they'll contact you and
Yeah,
what's involved with it and what you have to do.
yeah. And they'll set you right up with whatever region that you're in, even if you're not in Connecticut. You just let them know where you're at, and they tell you what to do. So it's a pretty good organization. They've got that pretty well covered.
Pretty much ambassador almost sounds like a volunteer.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's another. It's a fancier name
Yeah, right,
for
right.
a volunteer, but yeah, that's what it is.
I see. So the ambassadors don't meet like once a month or anything like that. They basically just go when there's an event going on.
Yeah.
Now, do any of the ambassadors initiate anything? Like, say, if you knew there was something coming up, would you be able to initiate it to go on to the website and maybe do it that way, or contact your
Yeah, we
leader?
promote everything through the Facebook page for Connecticut. So if I were doing something, I would just have them, to help me promote that.
But the Facebook page is probably the best way to get information or find information for the state of Connecticut.
Yeah.
And the national website is for the national, which is more involved. And what about veterans? They could go on the Facebook page too and ask for help also, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, they can.
Just to see if there's anything out there, or if they could do anything for them. Now, do they get involved with anything like clothing or beds or anything like that, or housing?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, I don't know all the programs because there's so many of them.
Right.
They may. But yeah, I mean, just, when you're contacting them, just let them know what you're looking for, and they can at least put you in the right direction. If it's not something they work on, I'm sure they know where else to send you for that stuff.
So, how long have you been an ambassador?
I just joined this year. It was just a little bit after I joined Objective Zero, and it was once I joined Objective Zero and I started trying to promote that, I had a friend of mine on Facebook actually had reached out to me and told me, he was happy to see that I had been doing, working with that issue. And he's the one who actually told me about Mission 22. And he had a member of his family had died by suicide. And he let me know about Mission 22, and that's when I looked into that and joined them also.
Right. Well, we're going to go to break, and when we come back from break, I'd like to talk a little bit more about Objective 22, if you don't mind. Sure. And hopefully they'll be able to put up a website for Mission 22 when we come back on the second half of the show.
Great.
Okay?
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
All right, cool.
Community TV, your neighborhood TV.
Publicly funded and a reliable partner for cable companies nationwide, it provides transparent coverage of local and state government, education, and public programming.
A digital town green that can be watched anywhere, anytime, and on any device.
Watch us on today's high-tech distribution methods.
Community TV in Connecticut.
Local,
unfiltered,
reliable, and yours.
Hello.
Hi, I'm from Blue Hill Stone Barns. We brought a meal for you and I'm here to serve it to you.
Okay, great. Come in.
Zucchini carbonara, made from zucchini that was harvested earlier this morning.
Again?
Hey, Dan Barber.
You have room for a little bit more?
Come on in.
Brochettes with sausage. So when we made that zucchini carbonara, they're the end pieces of the zucchini, and they're the cores that we cut away, not to mention zucchini flour. Usually those get thrown out. We use them to create an entire second dish. Does that,
Again?
I'm here to bring you your third course. It's the vines from your zucchini.
We'll have a little zucchini stem pasta. A different experience of zucchini. When we start to think differently about our food, we can get a lot more out of it.
This is delicious.
What do you think we can make out of this? 40% of food in America is never eaten. Cook it, store it, share it. Visit SaveTheFood.com.
Attention travelers. Next Tuesday, a major power outage will cause complete chaos throughout the city. Water, phone, and internet service will be in short supply. There will likely be panic citywide. Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Welcome back to the Veterans Voice of Connecticut. I'm your host, Gabe Kautzner, and with me today is Chris Harrington. On the first half of the show, we actually talked about Mission 22, its objectives, and he is the ambassador, one of the ambassadors for the state of Connecticut. And there was also another program that he was very involved with, which was Objective Zero.
Yeah.
And we were going to talk a little bit about that. And I don't know if they're going to bring up a website for us to see Mission 22. They might not be able to do it, but I guess that's the website there. So can you tell us a little bit, because I know when you were on my radio show, that was the major focus that we were talking about.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, that's how I first got involved with this whole thing. Was Objective Zero it's a mobile app. It allows veterans to connect with other veterans or caregivers. Like I'm on there myself as an ambassador for Objective Zero also. That's really a mobile app that lets veterans, instantly connect with somebody anonymously if they want to, and to do it outside the VA system and outside of making a call to that suicide hotline. They might just want to talk to somebody about what's happening to them that day. And they may not want to talk to somebody who doesn't understand what they're going through, so they're looking for somebody, a veteran like themselves, somebody in the same branch or maybe had the same MOS, and you can filter out other users to find exactly the type of person you want to talk to. And that's still growing. That's got a few thousand users now, and that's all over the country. And I'm the Connecticut state director for that. So that's how I first found out about the issue. And one of the founders tells his story. Justin Miller is the founder of Objective Zero, one of the co-founders. And the story that he tells about what he went through is just really heartbreaking. And he wanted to have somebody he could talk to about it, but I don't think he was ready to call the suicide hotline yet. So this gives him that, way to reach out to somebody.
That in between.
Yeah, and to still be able to talk anonymously to somebody. Whereas if you're going to go to, and it's for active duty as well, it's not just for veterans, it means people all over the world, wherever they're stationed, can pick up this mobile app and talk to other veterans, people who really know what they're going through.
Now, do you do any outreach here in Connecticut to let them know that app is available? I mean, we do have, Groton Sub Base, and, we have the Army National Guard camp down in Niantic.
Yeah.
Which has a lot of National Guard, Army National Guard, and then the Air Guards up in Windsor, Connecticut. And I was just wondering if you actually go out and do any type of outreach to let people know.
Yeah, no, I haven't started that yet. I'm still looking for more ambassadors to come join me, but I'm actually getting set up to start fundraising. I'm not actually registered in the state of Connecticut yet, so I can't really do any events yet.
Okay.
I did actually attend, there was a career fair in Hartford, and it's not exactly Hartford.
Bretschler's
Yeah.
Right.
I went there to that career fair.
Yeah, the Department of Labor
there.
puts it on, which is really, really very good resource if you're looking for a job.
Yeah. So I tried to spread the word there, but I haven't been able to get to start doing any events yet. I'm going to start doing that soon.
Now, what about things that either you hand out or pamphlets or things you sell? Do you get that all from Mission 22 in Oregon, or how does that work?
Yeah, I mean, I really direct people online for most everything. I have a few of these brochures that I hand out.
Yeah.
But it's mostly online that I'll do. That stuff I'll direct people to the website. Objective Zero also is objectivezero.org. It's their website, and they're on Facebook as well, the Objective Zero app.
Now Objective Zero, does that app work with iPhone and Android?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. And they can actually go in and just find it online for the app, or do they have to go to a special website to get the app?
No, yeah, you can go to the Apple Store or the Google Play Store. It's free. You can just search Objective Zero app and download it. It's free and can sign up immediately. If you don't want to fill out a profile, you want to just be completely anonymous, just quickly sign up right there.
So you don't even have to give your name or anything like that?
Right, yeah, for veterans it's free. If you're not a veteran, you want to become an ambassador, they ask you to do a little bit of training, just so you understand, somebody might be in a crisis situation. So they give you a little bit of training to do that. But for veterans, they can sign right up and start using it right away. And it's free, and you can just search it up on your phone.
Now, with the app, when you do go onto the app, say I want to talk to somebody, or they talk to me, or they call me.
You reach out, yeah. You reach out to them. That'll show you a map of everybody who's online.
Okay.
And you can just filter out those users. You can filter them out by if you're looking for a particular person. If you're in the Army, you want to just talk to somebody who's in the Army. Maybe a particular MOS, gender. There's a number of ways you can filter out the kind of person you want to, and it'll show you who's online right there, and you can just message them right there.
And it's right on the phone with the app itself. Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, it's all in there.
And it's completely anonymous. You don't have to worry about any confidentiality or HIPAA laws or anything like that.
Yeah.
When you do it. Now, is there anything on the app if someone, if somebody is in a critical suicidal mode, is there something on there to help?
Yeah, there is a button that'll connect you right to that National Suicide Prevention Hotline.
Nice.
Veterans Crisis Line.
Yeah, I was just wondering if there was something on there to do that.
Yeah, and we're partnered with the VA, so there's actually links out to other mental health programs that the VA has. Right.
That's
on the
really
app.
cool.
Yeah, but there is, a little button there you can just call that Suicide Prevention Hotline or 911. Which you don't need the app to do, but it's on there also.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you do.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it. So, but
yeah, that's all in there. So it's a good app.
So how many times have you used it?
I'm on there. I haven't had anyone reach out to me yet. I think because I'm a civilian, and that's fine. But there's a lot of veterans that are connecting on it. I'm on there. I try to make myself available anytime I'm not at work or asleep.
Right.
You set your hours to when times you're available. So
really? You could set that on. What else? Yeah. What else does it got on there to do?
You can set up that profile to put in as much as you want about yourself and where you are. It's going to show your location right on the map. So people are going to see where you're at. If you want to talk to somebody that's right nearby. But it's whatever you want to reveal, tell about yourself. You can put that into your profile. And you set your hours to say whenever you're available. So if you can only make it for an hour a week, you're available that hour. And that's really all we ask, try to make, I think that's really what the organization just says, if you're going to sign up for it, just make yourself available for at least an hour a week.
So it sounds like there's a lot of options that you could put in there and set it up so that you're not bothered. I was just wondering how it worked.
Yeah, you set the time.
Yeah.
For when you want to be there.
Any veterans or civilians that are out there that are watching the show can say, wow, I'd like to do that and help somebody out. And you kind of said pretty much everything is covered. Getting help if you need to, but just talking to somebody, like you said, can be immensely important when someone's at that critical point of just saying, I don't care, I just don't want to be around because nobody knows me, nobody cares. And I think that's a great idea with the phone.
And it's great because you know who's on there, you know that it's other veterans who understand you better than just using any other kind of social media. You could try going on Twitter or something and seeing who's around, but if you want somebody who knows a little bit more about what's happening with you, that's what the app is really designed for.
Now, what kind of feedback, or if any, have you gotten from that app or from the person that started it?
Yeah, we've had, we have stories of people who have connected with each other and they've been able to help them out. There was a homeless veteran who actually used the app and got in touch with somebody, and that's the way they got help. Not everybody can get to a computer or log in, but more and more people are getting on it, and we're hearing about a lot of people using it just to talk them through a couple days that they have to get through. So it's been helping, and it's growing. So it's doing really well.
Sounds like a very, very good, needed program that's out there. Now the veteran that needs the help can also, of course, go on that and look.
Yeah, that's what it's for, really.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Do they offer anything for veterans? I know you were saying that you were working with a homeless. They were working with a homeless veteran. Not everyone has a phone, nor do they have a phone account, because it's pretty expensive, especially for the homeless population.
Right.
So I was just wondering if they had any, phone programs or anything to help the veteran
that would be a good idea.
that you could think of.
There might be somebody doing that, but I don't know.
But that's a good idea. You should tell your boss.
Right. Yeah.
So for happening. How many calls have you had since you've been on Project Zero?
Objective Zero. I haven't, I haven't had anyone reach out to me. I've reached out to some others to see how they've been using it.
Okay.
And that's how I've heard some stories of people that have actually gotten through, helped other veterans get through a really tough time. So I know people are using it, but it's really meant, it's for veterans, and I think veterans are more comfortable talking to each other.
Yeah, veteran to veteran.
Yeah. So no one has actually reached out to me yet, but one of them, which is fine. I'm still on there.
Well, the veteran can tell if you're a veteran or not a veteran because it's in your profile, correct?
Yeah.
So you get to look at the profile if you want.
Right.
Just to see, is this somebody I want to talk to?
Right.
I see.
Yeah.
On that also, is there any connection? Is there any programs they have besides just having the app? Like Mission 22 has those different programs, that.
Yeah, there is. Within the app, there's links out to other resources.
Okay.
And I remember one of them was Headspace. You can get a free year of Headspace, which is another app, is for meditation.
Okay.
You can get a free year of Headspace, which I'm still using, which is pretty good.
How is it?
It's really good, yeah. I mean, I never tried meditation before, and it's a really great app that helps you get into it, kind of guides you through it. It's basically just a voice that kind of lets you know how to meditate and guides you through that. So there's things like that. There's other, the VA has programs that we link out to. Military One Source is a partner. So there's links within that app to other things that you can scroll through and see if there's something on there.
Right.
Much like Mission 22. If you see a program there that makes sense for you to look into. There's podcasts. Maybe see if I can get your podcast in there if you want.
That would be great.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind at all.
Okay. Yeah.
You're welcome to do it.
Don't know why I didn't thought of that already. But, there's that. There's tabs of those resources that we link out, and we're signing on new partners with that all the time.
Well, it's the same with Mission 22. They also have
Right.
the different tabs that you can go to and get information.
Yeah. The thing with Mission 22 is they'll actually pay for those services. They'll actually make it free for the veterans to actually use them. Which Objective Zero will just kind of let you know about them out there. Mission 22 can actually pay for them for the veteran. And make it free for them to use it. Which, if they need it, that's who you want to help.
Now, have you ever run into a situation where, whether it be Mission 22 or Objective Zero, where you've had to actually get involved with calling someone for, you said really nobody really calls you.
Not yet. Yeah, and I'm new. I mean, I've just Objective Zero this year also.
I'm sure you talked to the other ambassadors. There's must have been somebody somewhere that's been, that's gotten a call for help. and have been able
Yeah,
to
within
be
the
helped.
organization I've heard stories, yeah, with it, and they've told me about it, and I've reached out to the people I've spoken to on the app that have told me about it. So it's, people are using it and it's helping people.
So is that usually is the story told on Facebook, or is it something that, that you talk one ambassador to the other?
I talked to ambassadors on the app, actually, just talking to them about stuff that they had gone through, helping a veteran who reached out to her, and she just kind of kept working with him over a few weeks, I think it was. And I've heard through the organization, they've told us about other stories where other people around the country have helped each other out on it. Mission 22 is really just raising money to get all these programs together. One of our ambassadors is actually using the WIN program, and he's really liked it. He's been in and out of the VA and has had a lot of issues with an injury that he has. And this WIN program has helped him a lot. It's a medical supplement. They're all natural medical supplements, and it's been working really well for him. It's been a pretty successful program, but one of our ambassadors is actually using it.
It's more holistic.
Yeah.
It's not, and
yeah, that's what this is.
A lot of the veterans do not like to take a lot of medication that's prescribed to them. They feel a little bit droopy or not in it, and they would rather go the natural route,
right?
To get help.
Yeah.
Because there are some great certain vitamins and medications that are out there that are not in the same category as what's given out for what the pharmaceutical companies give out,
right?
For changing chemistry in the brain, so put it, and that's where they get that the most. And the other thing, what I wanted to ask you was, and I know I asked you this before, but this card, or with the resources for veterans on the back, is this available online? So it will tell you.
There's a lot more online. That's just giving you a
Right.
few of the highlights of some of the programs they have. There's a lot more online, and the best way to find out about it is just contact them and ask them what you're looking for, and they can put you in contact with.
Well, this war detox program sounds really, really good for post-traumatic stress disorder, but it's a residential experience, and it deals with peer support and team building. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu?
Jiu-Jitsu, yeah.
That's what you were saying they were doing?
Yeah, that's one of their more popular programs. They have Jiu-Jitsu and gym memberships.
And I guess they say health and housing access, so they do have health clinics, homeless shelters, traditional housing and recovery sanctuaries for veterans in need. They connect you to them, from what I can see here.
Yeah.
And you have the holistic health in here that you were talking about.
Yeah, there's a couple of medical programs that look really good. I mean, and they're just worth checking out. Everybody,
right.
Even this ambassador that's using it now has said he's been through a bunch of different ones and tried this one, and it's working really well for him.
Right.
So it's worth checking out.
And I kind of like what it says, whether you're a veteran, a family member, or part of the community, you're part of the mission, which is kind of cool. Kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's really a nice thing to. So just so our viewers get an idea, what do you do for a living?
I'm a content writer. I help build web pages.
Oh,
it's a retail website called restaurantsupply.com.
Okay.
I sell restaurant supplies and equipment.
Okay.
And I basically build those product pages and describe them and get the specs together.
I just kind of want to put that out because it's pretty amazing that you became an ambassador, and it's pretty amazing Objective Zero, how much you're into it, and yet you were never in the military, which my hat off to you for doing, because most of the time veterans feel that most civilians, pretty much forgot about them or won't help them. So that's,
Yeah, I think it's mostly that they don't really know. I mean, there is,
Right.
we talk about, that the divide between the civilian and military culture. It's something else I've learned a lot more about since I've been getting involved, and I think most civilians just really don't know.
Right, right,
They just really have no idea.
right. And have you done any self-studies to try to catch up on that, or basically you just experience mostly?
Yeah, I mean, I'm learning. I mean, I started listening to your podcast before I came on it, but I just kind of tried to learn. There's a lot of podcasts out there, and that's actually how I think I first heard about Objective Zero.
Right.
You can learn a lot about. There's veterans telling their stories online, and that's been another organization I've gotten in I volunteer with, Witness to War, where combat veterans tell their story, and they interview combat veterans about their stories.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's another thing. I've actually helped a couple people in Connecticut get their stories out there. And there's a lot out there that civilians just don't know.
Yeah.
And just the understanding for me to understand the whole transition from military life back into civilian life, which I think is what a lot of these issues have to do with, and how much different those cultures are, is a big part of it. And civilians just really don't know anything about it.
Right.
I think that's really less that it's that they don't care, so they really don't know.
Right, right. Because that's what people always say, they don't care, but if you don't know, how can you help, or how can you extend your hand to do so,
right,
as they put it. So, but anyways, the website again was?
Yeah, it's mission22.com.
Mission22.com.
Yeah. And you can do everything through there. If you're a veteran, you want to find out about programs, or if you want to become an ambassador, you can sign up very easily.
Now, what about, I was going to ask you, Objective Zero, how does that work? How does one get involved with that if they want to volunteer?
Yeah, you could go to their website. It's also objectivezero.org.
And that has a lot on it that'll tell you, like
yeah, you can learn a lot more about the issue in general on there. The website has just been updated with a lot more information on that. But you can just go right through your phone too. It's a free app. You download that, and once you sign up, if you want to become an ambassador, you sign up through the phone, and they'll email you and get you started on that.
Well, I just want to make sure that the viewers out there, if you can get a hold of me, my number's up there. I can get them in contact with you, or help them, help them get on a because not everybody has a computer, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
And I'm there also to advocate for those that are immobile and can't get around or do anything. I'm more than happy to help out
Great.
In any way that I can. But anyways, we're kind of getting close to the end of the show. I want to thank you for being on it. I know your the other two guests that were supposed to be on ran into a little bit of a situation, so which does happen, and like I said, I had you on Objective Zero on the podcast, and it was very, very interesting. And just keep up the good work. I hope everything is going good, and let those two know that they now have to come back to my show, whether they like it or not.
All right.
So,
yeah, we'll get on about it.
for not coming. They probably saw the rain and they got scared. So, but anyways, I want to thank you. Thanks a lot, Chris, for coming on.
Thank you. Thanks for having
really
me.
appreciate it. Well, thank everybody. Well, thanks for watching the show. And please remember, freedom is never free. I will see you next month, second Tuesday at 5:30 for more of Veterans' Views of Connecticut. Thank you and have a nice evening.